Hello, the Pioneer viewers. How are you doing? I hope you're healthy and well. So as the Pioneer team, we continue to bring you the developments of Russia-Ukraine war. We will soon share with you an incredible operation on the front line. As you know, there has been incredible activity in Eastern Europe in recent days, and the incredible resistance of the Ukrainian armed forces against the Russian occupation continues with its all might. On the other hand, Russian targets behind the front line are being hit. Recent developments in the Crimean Peninsula, one of the most important stages of the Russian occupation, show that the Russian army's dominance in the region is breaking. As it is known, the occupation of Ukraine is not a new process, and the Russian armed forces, which have occupied the Crimean Peninsula since 2014, have been planning this process for a long time. The strategic importance of the Crimean Peninsula has become more evident with each passing day. And recent developments in Russia showed that the military activity in the region will increase even more. Vladimir Putin, the leader of the Russian Federation, is planning something new. However, the Ukrainian armed forces are making great efforts to prevent Russia's plans, and recent attacks on the Crimean Peninsula confirms this. So, what are the developments about the latest attacks by the Ukrainian armed forces? Let's analyze it together. Before starting our report, I need to make a small reminder. As the Pioneer team, we continue to bring you the developments regarding Russia-Ukraine war, so don't forget to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications so that you don't miss our daily map reports and reports on the agenda. And as you know, I read all of your comments on our videos. Please continue to express your opinion about our content in the comments. So let's start if you're ready, as the Pioneer reports. The biggest war of the century is raging in Eastern Europe, and the Ukrainian armed forces are trying to end the Russian occupation of the Crimean Peninsula, while at the same time writing an epic of heroism in front of the eyes of the world. It is well known that every attack on the Crimean Peninsula is of great importance in terms of the attrition of the Russian army. And the day when Ukrainian flags fly on the Crimean Peninsula means the breaking of Russia's power both in the region and around the world. There has been an incredible attack within the borders of the Russian Federation in recent days, and we've already mentioned the developments related to this attack. However, this is not the only issue because these attacks could be a false flag operation. We will analyze these developments later, but now our main issue is the Crimean Peninsula. Russia is trying to justify its occupation of Ukraine by citing this attack in its territory as a reason. But Ukraine is trying to thwart Russia's efforts, and recent attacks on the Crimean Peninsula confirms this fact. In the past few days, an attack launched from the positions of the Ukrainian armed forces have caused great panic and fear on the Crimean Peninsula. The Storm Shadow missiles launched by the Ukrainian armed forces flew across the sky for some time and leaving sparks in their wake. When the Storm Shadow missiles, which were fired from the launch pads with great noise, were seen in the skies over the Crimean Peninsula, and the air defense systems of the Russian armed forces were also activated. We raise issues related to Russian air defense systems in every report, but the Russian Federation supposedly have very sophisticated and powerful security measures. This is what the Russian leadership always claims. However, until today, there has been no developments to confirm these claims, and this is because the Ukrainian armed forces have repeatedly managed to penetrate their air defenses, protecting Russia. Both missiles and drones have hit Russian territory many times, and once again, these missiles proved to be effectively successful. According to reports, the Crimean Peninsula was successfully hit by Storm Shadow missiles launched by the Ukrainian armed forces. Several Russian military bases on the Crimean Peninsula were reportedly hit during this attack, and it is said that a large number of Russian soldiers were inside the bases during the attack, and that were many ammunition depots around these bases. So far, there have been no confirmed reports about this incredible attack. However, according to the first information obtained from local sources, there is a great panic in the Crimean Peninsula. So it's reported that there is a great panic, especially in the regions where the Russian military bases are located. In addition, according to some sources, the majority of the Russian soldiers have attempted to escape one after another in the region. However, as I've mentioned, this information is still unconfirmed, but this is a claim with a high probability of being true. This attack on the Crimean Peninsula is reportedly the most powerful since the beginning of the war. So far, the only statements from the Russian sources is that the missiles have been intercepted. However, many sources have shared images on social media proving that there were many hits on the Crimean Peninsula. More images and clear information will emerge in the coming days. With this information, we can see a clear balance sheet of the missiles attacks on the Crimean Peninsula. Of course, there are also statements of unofficial Russian sources, and in recent days, we've been hearing a lot of information about the unofficial Russian sources, and unofficial Russian sources have often been heavily criticizing the Russian leadership and the Russian war leadership in recent days. Among the reasons for these criticisms was usually the security crisis that Russia was experiencing. While the outbreak of the war, it becomes clear that the Russian Federation is not as secure as it is and as it was thought to be. So, Russian unofficial sources had the following to say about the latest attacks on the Crimean Peninsula. It's really catastrophic. Sevastopol has turned into hell, and hundreds of missiles fragments fell on the city. I thought they were destroyed, but what good are the air defenses for? How are they going to convince the people they've settled here and that's safe? It's not safe here. Sevastopol, Simferopol, Fedosia, everywhere is unsafe. So obviously, Russian sources are furious. They're really angry because in every statement, the Russian government claimed that Russia and all the territories occupied by Russia were safe and tried to convince Russian citizens of this claim. But once again, they were wrong. This is where the anger of the Russian citizens stems from. So there is one more detail to understand the security and impact of the latest attack on the Crimean Peninsula. It is the Kerch Bridge that connects the Crimean Peninsula to the territory of the Russian Federation. And it is well known the Kerch Bridge is critical for Russia's occupation objectives. This logistical route is out of use during the Ukrainian army's offensives against the Crimean Peninsula, and the fact that the Kerch Bridge was closed to traffic in the latest offensive clearly demonstrates the effectiveness of the Ukrainian armed forces offensives. So what do you think? What the impact do you think the latest offensives of the Ukrainian armed forces on the Crimean Peninsula will have on the region? And how do you assess the strategy of the Ukrainian armed forces on the Crimean Peninsula? And do you think it's normal for the Russian armed forces to have defense problems? And can these problems to be solved? So let me know in the comments because I read and I care about all of them.